Domestic violence has plagued our society for a very long time.
Yeah, but we often forget about those who suffer in silence, the children who witness the violence in their home and have nowhere to turn. In a KXLY4 Focus tonight, our Janet O takes a look into how the kids are affected and what help there is for them. Janet?
Well, Rob and Dave, finding families who could openly talk about this subject matter was tough. Victim advocates say domestic violence, unlike other crimes, is considered a private family affair, and that's why so many keep silent. But sometimes that silence is broken by the kids themselves.
What are you reporting?
Hello? Hold on. Hello? Hello?
Somebody tell me what's going on.
My dad hit my mom. Now she's bleeding.
Okay, where are you, babe? What's your address?
It's the call 911 operators get too often. This one from a 10-year-old boy in Spokane this summer.
You want to see what hurts? That's what hurts! That's what hurts!
Domestic violence. It's often the children who witness it firsthand.
When it got to that point where he would become physically abusive, the girls would get the babies and they would all go into one room and just wait until it was done. They knew better than to try calling 911.
And then I would make sure that they were all okay, and then I would go out and make sure my mom was okay after he was done hurting her.
Life for the Bakers meant living every moment trying to please her dad, a dad who was vocal about making death threats against the family.
We could barely whisper, and if he heard us whisper at all, then yeah, he'd be shut up or go outside.
I literally would go to bed at night thinking, thank you, I'm still alive. That's a stupid way to go to bed every night. And that's no way for your children to live.
Linda lived her life for her kids, and the kids looked to their mom for their only source of love and comfort. But they all knew as long as they were with their dad, they could never be completely happy. And so the family made a tough decision, a plan to break free one Tuesday night. It was now or never.
Because I was just angry at him. And I couldn't believe that it had come to that point where we just had to run.
They came to Spokane homeless and were taken in by the YWCA. That was nearly 2 years ago.
Mostly, I just think about like my dad and like how he treated us, and I can get like incredibly depressed.
When I start having a really bad memory, or I have a tendency when I get really stressed and I'm thinking a lot about my dad, I have nightmares.
When they feel blue, Megan listens to music and shuts the world out. Katie focuses on schoolwork or writes in her journal. Each child deals with their emotions differently, but they're all in counseling.
You saw Eilish. I mean, she's a little shy, but she's normal shy. A year ago, she was so overwhelmed by any man that she could not be in a room with lights. She wore sunglasses constantly.
Adam Shipman is a director of advocacy and education for Lutheran Community Services, which specializes in counseling children who witness domestic violence.
I think all kids are affected equally, but in different ways. Younger kids are going to process it much differently than adolescents and teens.
Shipman wants to debunk one myth, and that's children who witness abuse grow up to be abusers themselves. He says that's just not the case. But there is a higher likelihood they do get into drugs, underachieve at school, and start an abusive relationship of their own.
Acts of domestic terrorism are happening in our community every day, and we don't pay enough attention to it. I think it has a devastating impact on our community. We should be more vocal about it, and we should be more concerned about what's going on in our community, because particularly when it comes to children, it has a significant impact on their functioning and their lives.
Lutheran Community Services has been a leading force in the country helping children from abusive homes cope with their feelings, a process that doesn't happen overnight.
And now that you are a senior, you're getting ready to plan your future, and so you said you wanted to be a counselor.
Yes, I do.
What type of counselor?
One that goes to domestic violence shelters. And I want to own my own business. I would really like to do like a spa day for the women there, like one Friday of every month.
Already thinking of how to help others, domestic violence advocates only hope more people will care.
Yes, I've got a friend and I think she's being abused.
And more people will reach out and call for help.
Hello?
Hi.
My mom ran to the neighbors and they're calling the police now.
Oh, okay, good. I'm glad she's safe. Do you guys need to leave the house to be safe?
So they're gonna come, okay?
Hey, do you kids think that you're safe in the house?
I don't know.
You're not sure? Do you want to go to the neighbors too?
Okay, sure, whatever.
Okay, go ahead and you guys go to the neighbor as well, okay?
Okay.
All right, bye-bye.
Okay, bye.
Well, as I first mentioned, it's difficult to get families to talk about this issue. We did contact the little boy and his family who you just heard from in the 911 call. They didn't want to be interviewed, but the mom told us she's in the middle of a divorce and that she and her 8 kids are getting help by going to counseling. The father remains in jail, charged with assault with a deadly weapon. If you want to learn more about domestic violence resources and counseling in our area, we have a link set up on our website, KXLY.com. Reporting live, Janet O, KXLY 4 News.